Oh, what a mess. Well, anyways, what that is the failure on New Holland's part to use either Belgian, or American chain. That's China chain. China chain ran that thing. Well, you get going with this machine and you're going across the terrace or whatever you're going across, and it would actually skip. And you can see where it's skipped because it's shiny. And it's skipping over the top of that, which is the drive for the pickup and both the augers. Okay, so what I'm doing is changing the chain. I'm actually not changing the chain. I'm actually putting a chain on there because I lost the chain. I can't find the damn thing. So I don't even have a map for that. So what I've done is I have bought some number 60H chain. And what number 60H is a heavy chain. So you can get regular 60 and put on there like they had, or you can put the 60H. This is actually made in China. You see, it says China on it. So, when you buy the 60H, it's actually a better quality Chinese chain over the standard quality chain. I don't like the fact that I have to put Chinese chain on there, but today it's Sunday. And the only place open today is Tractor Supply. So I ended up buying the 60H chain. Now, there's a couple of things that kind of annoy me, and one of them is pretty simple. That shaft looks like it got bent. It just does. And that's just an idler. As a matter of fact, I think it is bent. Wow. That's an interesting one because I've never done anything to it to cause it to bend, this guy here. But, yeah, it's kind of bent. Oh, anyway, I'm going to put it on and we'll see what the hell happens. I think I have to remove... I'll just blow that out and then I'll be able to put... See, because it'll feed without any problem. I'm hoping. If it turns on that side. Oh, there's a inner tube over there it's catching. Alright, so anyways, I'm going to make this chain up and then I'll show you putting it on. And I've got a little bit of a rant that I'm going to do in between. So, anyway, here we go. Okay, so you can see a chain on here. I bought this chain, it's heavy chain, and it seems like it'll reach, right? Uh-oh. You ever just have one of those uh-oh days where the chain don't reach? Okay, so 10 foot of chain is not enough. Can you believe that crap? So anyway, I actually just spent the last 45 minutes looking for that piece of chain because I knew I had it. I just wasn't sure where it was. And Timothy had hung it up real nice for me, which was nice, you know, he's a good kid. And yeah. So, I get to look at my face. I got a bipod or tripod for that. Not a bipod, Mr. Pod. As our Peak would say, Mr. Pod. Right? Our Peak says that? Yeah. So anyway, what I'm going to do here is I've got this piece of chain here, and it's virgin chain. It's never been used, obviously. I cut it off last year when I used it for something else. And, yeah. The good thing to do would be to check that the connecting link fits on there right. But it's not going to matter for this. Even if I only had a regular standard one, I am going to weld this connector link. Because down in here, a lot of hay collects, and what it's doing is actually wiping off the little clip that holds it on there. So, when it does that, it pisses me off. So anyway, I used to have an adjustable wrench. Here it is. Take an adjustable wrench. I gotta loosen up my tensioner here, because what's going to happen is I gotta loosen that whole thing up and move it forward so I can tension it properly. I'm not really happy with the way this has been treating me. I do have a bent sprocket there, which I I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, whether I'm going to have to call New Holland on it or what, but it kind of got me a little pissed off. And somebody beat it with a hammer, but it wasn't me. So it had to be done when I bought it, before I bought it. And when things like this, you buy a new piece of equipment, it's still under warranty, which is why I buy new equipment, as I like that. The fact that I actually have a warranty. I know a lot of you guys think I spend extremely large amounts of money on new equipment when you think I can get away with used equipment. Well, you know, to each his own. I mean, the business that I'm in, yeah, sometimes I have a lean year, and I'm kind of thinking that this year may be one of those lean years. The hay is not yielding as nicely as I'd like it to. At least I think it's not. It's one of two things. Either the hay isn't yielding as nicely as I'd like it to, or this baler is putting such a huge amount of hay into a bale, which I think it's a combination of both. Now, I've got the bales about that much longer, each one. So it's about 6 inches longer. The reason I did that was hauling. You know, you add 6 inches over 6 bales. Well, 6 times 6 is what? 24 inches? No. 6 times 8 is 48. Yeah, so it's 36 inches. It's 3 feet. So 3 feet more in a load. And so what I'm doing is handling less bales. And that 6 inches can overhang on the back of the truck. It's fine. Nobody seems to give me any trouble over that. So that's what the deal is with that. That's why I do that. So I'm getting less bales. We do have mites in the hay. I know you guys seem to be somewhat interested in what I'm doing with the hay, you know, and the yield that I'm getting. I think I'm going to end up doing this. Man, this thing is really aggravating. It just doesn't seem like it's going to work. But we'll do that. So anyway, yeah, so the hay isn't yielding quite as nicely as I'd like it to. Of course, I'd like to have 5 tons to the acre when, you know, I'm only getting 2.5 tons to the acre, because that's just the way it is. Now, there's some fields that produce a hell of a lot more than that. It's kind of rare. They just, you know, not every field will produce like that. Better than that. Let's see, what do we got? We're going to end up pulling that thing up. Back up. Why? Because it wants to be a pain in the dick. Alright, well, that's fine. Screwdriver. Yeah, this will work. The bar here will work. Anyway. Piece of dirt. How the hell does a piece of dirt get into a sealed cabinet like that? I'd like to know. Next thing, I guess I'm going to have to get a garage. So anyway, I'm going to put a hook on the end of it. Put a hook on the end of that, and then you hook the bottom of the chain, which you won't be able to see me do, but that's all you got to do. A little bit of this and a little bit of that, and before you know it, you've got it. So, watching me work could be tiresome or educational, one or the other, whatever you choose, I guess. I would say tiresome for the most part. Someone once told me, he said, Jesus God, you know how the hell you get everything done in a day that you do? And I said, well, I try to get up early and I try to get done. I try to fill my day as full as I can. So that's how I get it done. Okay. Now for the fun. We got to get this thing somewhat tight because it's going to stretch, right? And I'm thinking that, yeah, that right there would do it. That got it. Nice thing about this chain is this tensioner here pulls back, so it's double what it normally does, and it's got a spring-loaded tensioner right there. So I've got that guy there and that guy there. So I'm going to tighten it up, and then I'm going to put a spot of weld on each one of those things, just bzz, bzz, both sides, and I don't have to worry about it breaking off, both of them. And that should pretty much do that. Now I'm going to shut the camera off for a minute and then do that, tighten that up and get ready to do that, and then I'll show you that. Come on. Okay, you see that one's done. And somebody's going to say, you can't do that. Well, guess what? I can. I just did it. Didn't you see me? Okay. Now, set the baler on fire. I do have fire extinguishers here in case there is a fire, and I think I'm pretty good. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I should have some chain of cable lube. I want to screw it on there. At least I thought I did. Alright, I'm going to start the tractor up, start the baler up, and see what happens. If you've never seen Lucas at Oil Stabilizer, that's what it looks like. It'll just be like that all the whole time. It never goes anywhere. Doesn't drip off, doesn't slab off. It just goes around and around and around. So, that's why I'm a fan of Lucas Oil Stabilizers. So I guess that's going to have to qualify as a job well done, because the chains are working. Looks good for my house. All I can say. Anyways, if you like that job, just comment, rate, subscribe, and give me a good old thumbs up if you don't mind.